Hi, and welcome to episode 4 of the Points Finish podcast. The podcast in which we aim for the podium, but honestly, we absolutely will settle for a points finish. My name's Dee, and this is...
Lynn, I'm Lynn.
So if whether you're watching on YouTube or you're one of the few who listens on Spotify, please do hit subscribe and the little notifications bell. And this is our pre-Japan F1 podcast.
It's exciting. Before we get into that though, if you have been following us on Instagram, we have had to change our Insta handle. So if you want to follow us over on Points Finish Pod, you will get all the up-to-date information. We're going to be putting up some more things about us.
It's such an active Insta currently.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Little small steps. That is great. Also, for anybody who is watching this, my husband is currently doing silly things out in our patio, and there's big glass doors.
Yes.
So if we get a little bit distracted, apologies. And if there is any pauses for any of our audio listeners, you can probably just assume that it's because Paul has done something boogly out in the patio.
Yep.
Anywho, Japan, we're excited. Hope you're excited.
Yes.
Where are we going to get started? So I think last pod we did say that it was our favourite race, both of our favourite tracks.
For many different reasons. The thing that stood out to me is, and the more I've thought about it, the more accurate I think it is I think secretly it's a huge amount of the team's favourite race as well.
Well, we did say that it is Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton's favourite race.
Yep.
And it is one that I hold very dear to my heart, rather simply because whenever I was a child, because of the eight figure of 8 in the circuit, it reminded me of my ski electric set.
Oh, that's brilliant, yeah.
And so
but the cars didn't cross over, sure they didn't. That'll be different. That's next year's rules. There's a crossover point where the cars have to miss each other.
But the figure of 8 is iconic. It is the only track on the calendar that has it. And also, there is just a hype around Suzuka. So let's get into it.
Yeah,
why do you think it is so beloved?
Okay, so I think, for me personally, or do you think generally the motorsport world, why it's so beloved? Both?
Yeah, both.
Okay, so for me personally, being an F1 guy, but also being a car guy, Japan in general is steeped in car lore and history. JDM culture, or Japanese domestic market, were kind of my passion lies. It's just anything good automotive came from Japan, and that's a big statement, but it just is. So I think then that falls into the fans as well. You look at the fans there and you just get the feeling that they are not there because it's F1 or because they're there because it's cars going broom. And that's the truth. You see, they dress like cars. They have heads like cars. And
that is one thing. So if you're going to be watching the race, this is the one race that I encourage you to watch the build-up.
Yep.
Because the fans are unbelievable. They are the most passionate. I'm going to make a bold statement. They are probably the most passionate out of any of the nations that we go to.
I would probably agree.
Especially because they don't have so it's not like Silverstone, which is iconic and everybody loves it, but there's a load of British drivers to support.
Yeah.
And the teams are steeped in British manufacturing.
Yeah.
Japan, unless it's Toyota or Honda, actually Yuki Tsunoda was last year the only Japanese driver on the grid. He's not on the grid this year. They have no Japanese drivers on the grid for 2026, and yet the fans are going to come out and they love a good theme.
Yeah, and that's it. And even I said I've got my own reasons for it. You then look to the drivers. Okay, you'd say Carlos Sainz, you'd say Lewis Hamilton. For those who do follow Hamilton on socials, there he just rocked up the place called Daegu in Tokyo during the week in a Ferrari F40 by himself. There was no hype. It wasn't like a Ferrari event. He is aware of what Daegu is to car culture in Japan. He turned up in an F40, and ironically, nobody blinked. Watch the footage. Because here's the thing, and again, I'm going to go slightly off on a tangent here. So this place Daegu is steeped in car culture history. People who, so for example, any evening in Daegu, like the head of Nissan could just rock up in the very latest concept car.
Oh, wow.
Just to show up in it. A guy, Smokey Magato, who is banned from the UK, he's originally from Tokyo, he could have just rocked up in like a car that had just won a world championship, and people wouldn't have blinked because that's the kind of place it is. Or you could have a 19-year-old guy turn up in his red stripe plates in a little MX-5, and he is just as welcome there. It's the most unique place. Watch the footage of Hamilton, because he arrives in and everyone was like, oh, there's Hamilton in an F40. Anywhere else, the world would stand still. These guys went, nice, and kept on talking. And Hamilton loved that because then he was able to walk about almost in incognito. It was remarkable.
He could just be a guy who likes cars.
Last year, he went out, rented a Skyline, and just went out drifting in Japan for the banter. Him and a mate, they got into a whole load of trouble with it because the rental company didn't know. And his mate then made like a mad music video to it. But Hamilton, the video's out there. Hamilton literally went out joyriding in Tokyo the week of the Grand Prix. That's another reason why I think that Japanese Grand Prix is sold up, and then the teams are going mad with all the liveries.
So let's say we're going to go on to liveries,
Japan.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. No. So let's look, because some people might not know the Suzuka circuit. Yep. So brief overview. I've got some points here written down on my phone. So we've already mentioned unique layout with the figure of 8, only one on the calendar. Its length of track is 5.8 kilometers. It has 18 corners in total. And it is a fast, flowing, technical track, which means not a lot of overtaking, but has no mercy.
This season there might be.
We don't know about this season, but historically, not a lot of overtaking, but there is no forgiveness when it comes to mistakes. So you can see some interesting midfield point scoring going on with some of the drivers, because some of our like more experienced drivers, lapse of judgment can actually like make a mistake and screw up. So basically what I'm trying to say is mistakes get punished, but great skill really shines. So actually this is where maybe this is a bold statement, but yes, your car matters, but the driver's skill really shines. So you might not be in the fastest car, but you may have the skill, which means that actually you may get an Ollie Bearman on the podium this
that's a big statement. That's big.
But he's been doing well this season. But as I'm just saying that, so out of the current drivers, only 5 have scored podiums in Suzuka.
That's unbelievable.
You've got Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso.
Oh, he's not scoring points this weekend.
Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri.
They aren't scoring points either.
4 of those are world champions. So that just shows you that driver skill is really, really key here.
I'm going to make a statement, but I'm going to save it for later on about who I think is going to win the race. And
it can't be Mercedes.
It can't be Mercedes. It will not be Mercedes. I'll say one thing about Suzuka because it's important. Like Suzuka, and you've touched upon it with that track. The West it's an old school racetrack. It's not a modern track. So you have everything from, there's a few long straights, but again, banked corners. Before you hit that main straight, you've got that small hill climb into that chicane, into a right-hander onto the main straight, then a steep right at the very end. Like, it is going to come down to...
And it's high speed. Those are high speed.
Yeah, who can balance brakes, who can get on the power early. I hate to say it, but who can harvest their battery, who can charge their battery, who can release power when they need to. I think this one race is going to show the new regulations like the other 2 haven't, how China and Australia haven't. I think this is going to, and I think you're right, I think it's going to be a few big upsets. And I think there's one team specifically that is going to come out of the gate very strong in this race.
Okay. So for if you are watching the race, pay special attention to the hairpin curve.
Yes.
Because that is historically the place where you're going to get the most action and overtakes. However, we have been seeing more overtakes this season than ever before. So we could see them maybe in Sector 1 with the S's, because especially with Ferrari, that's where they seem to be able to undercut in the S.
Again, Suzuka is probably the only track of the calendar that I can close my eyes and do a lap of, because in so many different kind of race mediums, like it's not just Formula 1 Suzuka's famous for, so I've seen it in so many different kinds of races, but also then in computer games, if you grew up playing computer games, Suzuka was always in the game.
Yep, it was.
So, like, I think you're right with MSs. That first steep right, then into the left, into that right. I think the Ferraris are just going to eat.
Curve, yeah.
I think the Ferraris are going to eat them turns. And that's maybe me giving a clue to how I think the weekend's going to go.
Yep. So basically what we're saying then is this race will be won probably on strategy and your qualifying position and then driver skill. That is genuinely, I think that bearing in mind that it is a high, fast corner circuit, tyre wear is going to be a huge thing. Tyre management is going to be a huge thing. So actually, your pit stop strategy
and this is all
has to be key here.
And this is all in the context of it being a dry race. Suzuka also historically can suddenly just rain, and they don't do a skiff; they do a monsoon. So again,
let me just. Well, I look to see what the weather.
Oh, we are actually sounding like an F1 podcast right now. We're talking about strategies. We're talking about the turns. We're talking about the. Good grief, we have developed.
Do you know what? It's because I really love this track that I've done a lot of research.
Japan.
So weather for Suzuka this weekend.
When we get to some of like the other tracks, I'll be like, yeah, the turn right.
Okay, so I'm just looking it up here. Unfortunately, because we're down in the basement of my house, I can't really. Okay, so dry, bright, and consistent.
Okay.
On Saturday for qualifying. Not a guaranteed race for Sunday, but conditions could
say the word changeable conditions.
It's not saying changeable.
Oh.
Let's just look up in the past 5 years.
Okay.
Past
so whilst you look that up, okay, this has been a last minute purchase by Lynne.
I went to an indoor boot sale and found this for 20p.
Robbed someone because this is absolute gold. Like, this is gold. So this book is called A Formula One History Told Through Newspaper Headlines, and then it says Formula One again in the same title, so you know it's good. A Formula One History A Formula One History Told Through the Newspaper Headlines, Formula One, a history from 1958. Okay, and then there's Latin below, which I'm going to assume it says Formula One for the third time. Okay, so whilst you're doing that, I'm going to read a headline based on Formula One. You can see them all here for those watching, and for those listening online, is a lovely book. So I'm going to go for, I'm going to give you the headline, and then you have to guess the year of the headline.
Oh, sweet
okay,
mercy.
So I'm going to start. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go, I'll just stop.
Don't go too old.
Don't
go too old on
me. This headline is, make sure the year is on it as well. I need to find one with the year. Okay, here we go. He's one hell of a guy. This was my destiny. I was meant to win it. Fighting mad Damon Hill hit back at the critics with a blood-tingling show at the British Grand Prix by Ted McCauley. And this was in the Daily Mirror of
1990. I'm going to go, it's either 95 or 96.
1994.
Oh!
Okay.
I went for his world championship.
Okay. We're going to do one more.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Okay, here we go. German hero Schumacher owes it all to British brains and brawn. Michael Schumacher added motoring to his footballing glory for the Germans yesterday, as yet again it was all down to the brilliance of an Englishman. So Michael Schumacher is crediting his victory to Ross Brawn. Ferrari's ferocious and victorious driver Michael Schumacher makes his point as he's joined in the podium by disposed of champion Mika Hakkinen. And there's a lovely photo here of Michael Schumacher.
So then
it's a lovely photo here of Michael Schumacher pointing at Mika Hakkinen.
It's 2001 then.
October 2000.
Oh!
Right season. Genuinely, for those who have any doubts of Lynne's credentials of Formula One, she is nailing the years, so knows her stuff. But we're maybe going to jump into this every so often. I'm sorry, look how magnificent that mustache is. Bring it back. So basically,
for the audio listeners, he's just pointed at a picture of Nigel Mansell's mustache.
Every day was November for that man.
As you know, and also for audio listeners, we also have a Lego championship winning Williams of Nigel Mansell sitting on the coffee table as we record. So anywho, whilst we were doing that, I have now looked up the weather.
Okay.
Interestingly, the trend is that 2022 extremely wet.
Oh, okay.
2023 completely dry.
Okay.
2024 was a mixed.
Oh, that's what
race.
you want.
2025 was sunny with very strong possible rain, but it didn't rain. So basically, what it's saying is Suzuka's dry until it isn't, really.
Literally, it's dry until it rains.
So
that's what do you call him from Drive to Survive?
Will Buxton.
That is a Will Buxton line. It is dry until it rains.
And then it's wet. But basically, regardless of it being a wet race or a dry race, it is a high-speed corner race, which means tire management. You're going to hear this a lot. The drivers coming on being like, my tires are dead, or I'm struggling on my tires, my front left, my rear right.
Or if you're Aston Martin, you'll just hear this.
Poor Fernando.
I know. Fernando.
Anyway, so because of the tires, pit stops are going to be really key. Pit windows. It probably, if it's a dry race, it could be a one-stopper, but I don't know. I'm praying for a two-stop, I'm going to be honest, because strategy is going to be key. There's going to be a lot of undertaking in the strategy here for their track position. Track position is going to be gained on pit stops being timed well. Bearing in mind that it's an unforgiving track, so safety cars are going to be doing potentially a lot of laps.
Okay.
Anywho.
You can tell we like Suzuka, but in if Mercedes do get that big lead, the safety car could be really good to reel it all back in. So anyway, time for a game?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we do that? Japan, good.
Japan, good.
Okay.
Game time.
Let's go for box.
Box.
Okay, so if you haven't listened before, which let's face it, you probably haven't.
Hey!
I have on my lap a box, and this I am going to give Dee one clue. He has 20 questions, and he has to try and guess what is in the box. There are a few rules. It has to be something linked to F1. It has to be something that can be guessable and is fairly obvious, but it can be tricky. It can be niche.
Yeah, last week it was a wheel gun.
It was a wheel gun from the pits.
Other time it was a tear-off strip, and then the very first one was a driver's watch.
So this time you're starting clue D.
Okay.
Because it's my turn for box.
Yeah.
Inside my box is something that the Japanese Grand Prix is famous for.
Right.
But it doesn't relate
to
drivers or teams.
Famous for, but it does not relate to drivers or teams. Okay.
Well, it's not exclusive. It is connected, but it's not. The drivers and teams do not orchestrate it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So what's in the box?
So, is it something a fan would have?
Yes.
Is it something that fans create themselves?
Yeah.
Is it a flag?
No.
Is it some kind of Formula One themed hat or helmet?
Not exclusively, no.
Is it a Formula One themed costume?
Yes.
Do I have to guess exactly the costume?
So I was considering being mean. Because you've only had 5 questions, I am going to be mean.
Were you surprised at how quickly I've gotten this one?
No, I'll give you too big of a clue.
Okay. Is it computer game based?
Yes.
Is it Super Mario costumes?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh, never mind.
Is it Pokemon based?
No. Oh,
But it's computer game focused?
So I think I've misunderstood what you meant by that.
Okay.
So maybe don't focus on that.
Okay.
Because I can't tell you why I've misunderstood it.
But it's a costume?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's a costume. Okay. Would you ever have a team or a driver wearing it?
Oh. Yes.
Is that a frequent thing, or is it like one driver happened to put it on in a press conference 7 years ago?
Right. Okay. So it is so the driver would wear it every single race, but it's exclusive to a fan in Suzuka.
Oh, fan in Suzuka. Oh, this is a brutal one. A fan in Suzuka. The driver
You were so on it, and then I throw in you with the computer game thing. You were so nearly there.
A costume?
Yeah. Focus on that. That a driver would wear every race, but it's exclusive to Japan.
Is it a samurai style outfit? The kind of the karate kind of outfits.
When would a driver wear that every race?
Usually they come out. So Hamilton has worn one this week with the.
Oh no, so like without fail, every single driver wore one of these every single race, but it's exclusive to Suzuka.
It's not a bandana.
No.
And they'll only have it at Suzuka.
Suzuka is famous for it, and the race warm up will have some coverage with it. There'll be some social media coverage with it.
Oh, it's completely thrown me now.
I thought I was really helping you out there.
Costumes.
So you tend to find them so you wouldn't see one fan on their own. You would tend to find 3, 4 of them together and little cluster groups. They kind of go in little themes.
Bananas?
No.
Oh.
No, it's Formula One, not Mario.
It's Formula One.
Think.
Tires?
No.
Do they dress up as tires? Because I have seen the tires.
They do. Right, can I give you another clue?
Give me another clue. I do need another clue.
The fans would be children.
The fans would be children?
The novelty of it is because it's a child.
Right.
Not an adult. An adult would just look weird. Kids look really cute and quirky.
But yet the drivers would dress as it.
Every single race. Single race.
It's the kids in that full race suit with the helmets.
Yes.
Very good. Oh, very good. Okay, yes.
They're so adorable.
Because you always have them in the full race suit and the wee helmets.
And there's always a Lando and a George and a Leclerc.
Very good. I don't know how you'd fit one in the box, but yes, very good. Very good. That's a good one.
I did throw. So whenever you said about computer games, I was like, well, Lando. There's always a Lando, and Lando's with his Team Quadrant. So I thought gamer as opposed to computer game.
I instantly went to because you see them dressed as Mario Kart, you see them dressed as Donkey Kong.
So
that was a very good one.
So that's why I was like, I've thrown you.
I wouldn't have got that without the final clue about the cuteness and the kids. Not a chance would I've got that one because I was heading down in another direction.
I'm so excited to see them.
They've already started turning up. At the press conferences. Yes, there was a little George and a little Lando stand beside each other.
That's so cute.
Yes, I also look at that from a point of view going, that's considerable investment because imagine how much that race suit and helmet costs for the family.
And the child will have grown out of it by next year.
And also, I know children and the kids are going, why are you making me wear this? But in Japanese, and then putting the helmet on, and it's like, stand there and be cute.
Well, they could be crying under the helmet.
They're weeping.
So, basically, they're shaking their shoulders.
That's why they're black tinted, so you can see their tears. That's tears of joy.
Okay, so we've looked at a roundup of the Suzuka grid. Let's look more specifically to this weekend. So, what are you looking forward to? What do you maybe expect?
Right, so I'll put it out there. It's going to be a Hamilton win.
Okay.
I think based the straight from the lights to the first corner isn't overly long, but I think it's long enough for Ferrari to engage warp speed. I think then from that first corner to the next actual straight, there's 2 S's, and I think that Ferrari, the way it corners, and I don't think Mercedes will be able to stretch its legs to use its power advantage.
Okay.
I think Hamilton and Leclerc will go into that first corner together, and I think this will be the race where, contrary to the last one, they start to work as a team. I see. What else do I see? I see, as you said, I see Ollie Bearman up there.
Do you? Because you said that was bold.
I don't think he'll get a podium, but I think he'll be 4th, 5th, sniffing in around there because I think the Haas is actually really strong.
Okay.
And it's starting well too with the Ferrari engine. What else? I think we're going to have George Russell, Kimi Antonelli coming together. On which the friendship bubble and the big brother, he's just so good, will burst.
Okay.
And I think this will be the end of the we're all best friends in Mercedes.
Okay.
And what else? Bold prediction. I don't think either Aston Martins will start the race.
Ooh.
So Alonso's not doing FP1.
Yes.
And I think that's I don't think that's I want to let the young driver have a go. I think that's Alonso going GP2 engine. I think Alonso's already checked out that way.
So interestingly, my prediction for this race was that every single car would start. Every single driver would start this race.
Nope. I don't think we'll see that until easily 6 or 7 races in.
So how many retirements then do you think that we're going to have? Well, so including your DNSs.
Okay,
How many
DNSs.
DNFs and DNSs combined?
I
How do you think, how many people are finishing on Sunday?
16.
So you're thinking that 6.
And one of them's going to be a McLaren. I don't think McLaren's going to have both race cars finish. I don't know whether it'll be a DNS or DNF or it'll be a yeet into the barrier. I don't think both McLarens, and I'm going to say it's going to be Piastri. I don't think Piastri will finish this race.
Wow.
So that'll be 3 races.
So you think 6 are going to retire. Mm-hmm. So do you think that there's going to be quite a few safety cars in?
I think there'll be at least 1 safety car.
I think there could be 3.
Really? Oh, okay. Again, this is the whole point in this podcast was really driven to be the Formula 1 mate that you may or may not have. So please, let's start the interaction and comments.
Jack, where's your comments? Hey, Jack!
And Spotify, comment and let us know your predictions, because then what we'll do is in the next pod we can actually go through them, which would be really nice to do some, listening.
I think it is like we're doing this podcast because of peer pressure, because Jack told us like 2 days ago that if we didn't, he would have nothing to listen to this week.
So this is for you, Jack.
So this is for you, Jack. So, this episode is once again dedicated to Jack in my office.
Yeah.
Hi, Jack.
So I think, and I think it's going to be a banger. I think Mercedes.
See, we can't overhype it. Are we overhyping this?
I know. But I think Ferrari are going to be 2 of the 3 cars on the podium, and I want to say I think it's going to be Kimi. I don't think Russell's going to finish in the podium, and I could be wrong, but I think there's going to be come together, and Russell will suffer for it. And I think that this is really specific. I think then that will cause the real friction. Pressure's on. There's so much in the press about George Russell being temporary. As soon as Max pulls the pin at Red Bull, which he will.
Which will be an episode that we'll do over the month.
Yes. So Damon Hill's dropped a couple of banging tweets this week.
He is on fire.
And he's being unapologetic for it. And part of me feels sorry for George because he's done nothing wrong. But again, there's so much noise about Max leaving, and they're not getting rid of Kimi, but it'll be George that'll have to go. So I think that George will be very on George this weekend. I think he'll be taking more risks. I think he'll be more aggressive. But anyway,
so your top 3.
I'm going to go Hamilton first.
Yeah.
Leclerc second, Kimi Antonelli third.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm going to go, so I had Hamilton first, actually. I think that this is going to be his first win. I had McLaren second.
No, not a chance.
I had Lando Norris second.
There's more chance of me finishing second than Mercedes.
And I genuinely think you're going to see a surprise third.
You want Ollie Bearman so bad, don't you?
I want a Haas podium.
What would you do? Would you do an Ollie Bearman first podium or a Carlos Sainz for James?
But he's had his.
But what I mean for James Vowles, because Williams really need a good result.
Williams are going to finish in the points. There's no way. You can't even try and say that they're going to be on the podium. A good finish for Williams will be double points.
I'll be a solid points finish.
So double points for Williams are in trouble. They're one of they're one of the teams that have not really shone. I do not. Similar to you. I don't think we're going to. No. Do you know what? It's really hard to discount Mercedes. But Antonelli makes silly mistakes because he's young and he's spontaneous.
I think Antonelli's faster than Russell in pure pace, but Russell's faster over a race, if you know what I mean.
So I think Ferrari is beloved at Suzuka. Yeah. So you're kind of doing that whole like fandemonium. Well,
it's like a sectifosi, isn't it?
Yeah. So I would love to see a Ferrari win, which is something. Dear 1999 Lynn, I'm sorry that I've just said that. I didn't realise I would ever want to see Ferrari win. But Ferrari has won. I do.
It's won your heart.
I do want a Ferrari win.
It's won your heart.
I do want a Ferrari win, and I do want a surprise third place. And I just think there's momentum with Ollie Bearman. I know that I am I've probably it's people are going to make fun of me for that. I just think he's on form, and he's a solid wee driver who takes risks.
Yep.
But he doesn't. Yeah. He's not known for making mistakes, does
and
it?
Also, Haas is that team. Haas is a team that's known to throw the Hail Mary when it comes to strategy as well. So if all their ducks line up, and all the moons align, and there is safety cars and chaos, Haas and Ollie Bearman is one of the teams that you could go, and Hulkenberg could go, they could just appear out of nowhere because they could be like, stay out and everyone else goes in, or they could do the pit, and you just don't know with Haas and Ollie Bearman and Hulkenberg are exactly that. So I don't think it's completely beyond the realms of possibility, but I think you'd need to have a George Russell coming together with someone, and I think you'd need to then have the McLarens not working the way they should for that to happen. But it's not. Suzuka's one of the places it could happen.
It could happen. I think one of the reasons why I'm so on the Haas hype train is because Haas have produced a beautiful livery, which segues us into one of the things that we have been talking about an awful lot this week. And that's why tea breaks and lunch breaks.
And that's why Suzuka is, for me, I know that teams love it because they don't do this livery elsewhere outside of maybe their home circuit where they do like a wee splash of blue for Ferrari or whatever. All the teams have some kind of, there's something. But RB and Haas, Mercedes and Ferrari are doing something.
Have they?
I think
have they released? Let me have a look.
I don't think they've released, but there was talk, or there was definitely an early design of them doing something. But
I haven't seen it.
So for those who don't know, get on socials and have a look. Red Bull did an unbelievable underground car park, multi-story car park, like takeover, where in essence they became an energy company again, an energy drinks company, and they pulled in all their drift guys. So Connor Shanahan was there. They pulled in the likes of Liberty Walk, which is like a massive Japanese tuning brand. They pulled in like all of their Dakar guys, their motocross guys, their drift guys, and then in essence they invited the very cream of the crop from the Tokyo Auto Salon and just took over a multi-story car park and then did their reveal. If you actually watch it, you could see the drivers. Max wasn't there, but also then V-Carb also did it. Their drivers were actually a little bit overwhelmed with the way it was done because it was so on Formula One brand. It was so like Red Bull nailed the vibe in terms of what car culture is and what they're trying to do in Japan.
Okay.
The cars are stunning, both of them. The Red Bull, which I think I just sent you there, and also then the V-Carb.
Well, Red Bull have not confirmed that they're going to drive their special livery.
The white and red, they're not going to drive it.
It has not been confirmed.
Please do it, or even just
But
FP1.
Historically, they have done their
FP1.
Honda tribute. They
It
have,
is.
but they are now not a Honda engine.
No, but the white and red is beautiful.
So who we're expecting is we've got the Unleash the Beast theme by Mercedes,
which is just a front wing,
which is really just the front wing, but it's basically to launch the wolf, isn't it? The wolf merch,
outfits.
The wolf graphic on so it features a wolf graphic on the front wing. It is tied to their fashion and merch drop,
which is unique.
So I am not a lover of it, and it takes a lot for me to not side with Toto Wolff on
Toto in a trench
everything.
coat looked a bit weird.
So we've got that one. We've got the Racing Bulls Spring Edition, which is the red and white color scheme, which is Japanese inspired. It has calligraphy, cherry blossom influence, and it was revealed, as you say, at the Tokyo Drift event. It is absolutely stunning, but the third team, to be honest, stole the show for me, which is the Haas livery. It's Godzilla themed. It is the first ever entertainment crossover that Haas has done.
Was it League of Monsters or League of something? Is the TV show? Is that what it's about? Apple TV's just dropped a new Godzilla show. I'm assuming that's what it is.
It's with all I've got here is I haven't researched that bit, but it's the creators of Godzilla that it's tied in with.
It's beautiful.
It is fun. It is quirky. It is getting people talking. It is stand out. And I think maybe I've just then jumped on the train and been like, right, Godzilla's on the podium.
But also it matches their drivers. Ollie Bearman, and again, coming around this time of the year, like the drivers do their little fun things. If you watch the social media of Ollie Bearman and when they were launching that livery, they asked him to do like a couple of donuts. And he did a couple of donuts in the F1 car. And then he did the biggest, dirtiest, smokiest burnout you have ever seen in an F1 car. No. Because he lined the car up, he did 2 or 3 donuts, and then, whether it's been accidental or not, the nose of the car spun around and lined up perfectly with the camera. I think I sent you this.
Yeah, you did.
And it looks like the back of the car just explodes with smoke. Because at that point, he stopped being an F1 driver. He turned into a 6-year-old boy and just put his foot through the floor and give it all the beans. And the car suddenly went, I'm an F1 car. and all of the power destroyed the back wheel. Sorry, this is the car nerd me coming out. It is the most incredible short bit of footage.
Yeah.
And it's Ollie Bearman. It's not Hamilton. It's not like an established driver. It is a rookie going, I'm here. I'm on the Bearman train. I've just decided.
You've just decided. So
I've just decided I'm on the Bearman train.
At the start of this being like genuinely borderline making fun of me for suggesting Bearman. And
no, I don't think he's gonna like. But I just think as a guy, he's on PC. He doesn't do PR.
I do love
he drops
him.
the F-bombs, says he nearly killed people instead of coming in collisions. Like instead of saying I nearly had a collision, I near killed him.
He is great.
And the guy does burnouts. I'm on board, Bearman. Thumbs up from me.
Teams then that love special liveries are McLaren always produce bangers, Ferrari always produce bangers, and Aston Martin produce bangers. But but they traditionally don't do Japan. They are more in favour of going glitz and glam for Miami and for Las Vegas.
Aston Martin. I think
they are not.
They're not doing it. Okay.
Those three teams that I've mentioned, so McLaren, Ferrari, and Aston Martin, have said that they might run special helmets.
Oh.
And there might be minor tweaks.
Okay.
But we are to expect
Aston Martin have bigger things to worry about right now.
So do McLaren, to be fair.
Yeah. Does it start? No. Oh.
There has been no confirmations for Miami, but we all, you know, and now I'm going to tell our listeners and our watchers, I love a bit of Miami merch, and McLaren produce beautiful. What are you stripping?
I'm not stripping.
Don't take your clothes off.
I'm not taking my clothes off. I'm a Miami top.
You've got your Miami
I've got my Miami t-shirt.
You have your Miami t-shirt?
I love the Miami.
For the Miami Grand Prix, I will wear my McLaren Miami hoodie,
Nice.
which I absolutely adore. It is the most beautiful shade of blue, and I love it. But anyhow, that is the liveries.
And it's worth watching all the FP1, 2, 3 just for the liveries. And
so, yes. Before we move on, again,
we need to move on. Let's turn into another 1 hour podcast.
The one thing I do say is that if you ever wanted to get up earlier to watch more race build up, Japan, do it. Yep. It is honestly, you will not regret it. The race build up is honestly just as exciting as the race will be, because you get to see just lots of different fan quirkiness and exclusive things. The presenters are in good form. It's just great.
Yep.
Watch the build up. It is the one time that I would probably really enforce that. I love the race build up, but I'm a nerd. I'm telling you guys and
we've now hyped it up so much, this race is going to be a stinker.
See, Bearman, you better start, mate.
What is going to happen now is
Bearman.
George is going to go first, second, third in FP1, 2, and 3, qualify first and disappear off 37 seconds into the lead. Guaranteed, because we have hyped it that much.
Okay, so moving on.
Yep.
It's time for If Not,
Then What?
If not, then what? So for anybody who hasn't been listening or watching us before, this is the part of the podcast where we look at a driver and we just have a bit of fun going, well, if they weren't a Formula 1 driver, what would they be? So we take a different race driver every pod. Full disclosure, I told Dee about 20 minutes before he walked into my house who the driver was. Yep. So you haven't had as much to read up on and think about.
What about this? You go for your suggestion, and I'm going to try and counter-argue with mine. I'm going to try and think quickly on my feet. Okay. So the driver today is
Oscar Piastri.
Okay. So if Oscar Piastri was not a Formula 1 driver, if not, then what? What is his new job?
Okay, so I'm looking at the fact that it's no secret that he was really good in skill. He got good grades.
Yep.
And also looking at the fact that he is just a calm personality, very cool under pressure.
Great hair.
Nothing really phases him. Nope. So I am thinking that he probably would be an engineer of some form.
Okay.
And because his girlfriend is she's a Formula 1 engineer, isn't she?
Is she? Okay.
I think so. I think she's into motorsport at least as an engineer.
Okay.
I just see, and because they're just an adorable couple, I would see maybe some form of high pressured engineering role.
Okay.
Because of his being brought up in Formula 1 and everything like that, I can't help but think that it would be in some form of motorsport. Mm-hmm. I think he would be an excellent team principal, actually. But look at the face of
my cogs are turning.
Your toes are turning. So I think it's going to be something high pressured, and then bringing his obvious love of academia and his intelligence into play. And engineering just feels like what he would do.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I would disagree.
Oh, yeah.
I think that if he was not, I think Oscar Piastri, you cannot forget where is he from. He's Australian. And I think he has the motorsports.
Is he the next Steve Irwin?
No.
Crocodile Hunter?
No. I think you're along the lines of teaching, but I don't see him at a high-end motorsports pressure thing, because I feel the love of motorsports for him comes from the driving fast and the winning. I think if you pull the driving fast aspect away and the winning aspect, he wouldn't be involved. But I think he would actually, because of his manner and the way he speaks, and I think you're right with how Cam is, I could see him being like a teacher, but in, do you know, like a technical college, but on the mechanical aspect of it.
Oh, for goodness sake, you're way off.
No, I could, because here's the thing, he's
a teacher.
But I mean, like, you know, so like one of the guys who works in like
Just to be clear, that's no disrespect to teachers, by the way. It's just everything in me just cannot see Oscar Piastri.
I could see Oscar Piastri. Do you know, like one of them metal workshops, but the motorsport stuff, where he teaches motorsport engineers. So they come in and he has all the cars in bits and engines in bits. But also, here's the thing: like, he wakes up, he's relaxed, he does a bit of teaching, he goes home, he surfs, he eats, he spends time with the girlfriend, he relaxes at home. I think that would be the pace he would run at if he wasn't an F1 driver. He would still have the technical stuff, but I think he would teach it in that level about motorsports, not actually doing it himself. So I could see him being like someone who teaches engineers.
Family wealth behind him for him, I think.
So then money's not a big deal. He doesn't need to earn the big bucks.
Yeah. So yes, just to clarify, huge respect for teachers. I do a lot of schools work in schools. A lot of
backtracking going on.
It's just that I am so shocked that you suggest that Oscar Piastri would make a good teacher. If I was to suggest a teacher on the track, I would be going for Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh no, Nico Hülkenberg. Can you imagine, like, Terminator coming in? Not a chance.
Yeah,
no,
he would be a great teacher.
No, I think if it was a teacher
with all that wealth and wisdom.
No, I think if it was a teacher, oh gosh, I really went on tangent here. I think if there was a teacher on track, it would be.
Could we have Bottas as a teacher?
Oh, Bottas would be a great. He would just never show up.
No, but maybe he's too scandalous. He would be that teacher who had his butt calendar.
Yeah, no, I think if Bottas was a teacher, it would be like where's Mr. Bottas? Oh, he's out in the car park. What's he doing? Just skids and stuff.
Can you not imagine with that tash and that, like, what do you call that? What's his hairdo?
Mullet.
A mullet. I can see him in a pair of overalls teaching like mechanicking courses.
Or either that, or
and he cycles.
Like some kind of small like rock tribute band.
Can he play an instrument?
I don't know, but he could sing maybe, and he leads it. Do you mean
Bottas with the tambourine singing?
Ding dong, that kind of thing. Now you can see him singing Ya Ya Ding Dong.
I can see everybody singing Ya Ya Ding Dong. Anywho,
that went completely off track there, 100%. But anyway, so you think Piastri would be
an engineer or a team principal,
and I see him leading like engineering / motorsports workshop, being a teacher there. Very different careers, but both motorsports related. What do you think? In the comments, please. Someone comment.
We all think Dee's wrong, let's be honest.
No, but I like teachers and you don't, so it's all good.
I do like teachers.
That's not what you said.
I did.
If we just remind it a little bit, Lynn, you'll find that actually
you will find that my reaction was, why would you make Oscar a teacher?
Because he's way better than teachers.
Ooh, that's a huge statement that I am not going to comment on. I have some very dear friends who are teachers.
I just hope people don't interpret what you said as that, that's all. For those who are listening, I have a big grin because I am being mischievous. She did not mean that.
Yes. Anywho, we're going to finish the podcast because
cancelled after 4 episodes. Thanks.
We're going to get cancelled after 4 episodes, and probably half of my job is now going to be cancelled because it's not a teacher in a school that I worked in is probably going to listen.
How did you end your career? A really small podcast. Oh man.
That only had 5 listeners, and it just so happened that one was a teacher in a school that Lynn goes into on a regular basis.
One was head of the education authority.
Right. So.
Yeah.
On that note.
Yeah.
We're going to finish the podcast.
Was there anything else we wanted to cover? We covered how much we all love Suzuka, how it's going to be a banger, hopefully.
Liveries,
predictions. What are your... See, who is your top 3? You haven't said who your top 3?
I did. Hey. I said I wanted a Ferrari win.
Uh-huh.
A surprise third.
Right.
And Lando was second.
Ah, okay. I think the Ferrari wins. I think Ferrari's going to win, but I don't think Lando's going to be in the top 6. But anyway, so yeah.
You don't think he's going to be in the top 6?
Not even a little bit.
Right. Well, we're going to go off. We're going to go offline and probably argue about that one because I hugely disagree.
Yes.
Anywho, we will after Suzuka have a month's break, so we will still be recording pods, but we'll be looking at more topical issues.
Yes.
So, for example, the huge things that are happening in Aston Martin.
Yes.
Not just on the track, but
off the track.
Off the track.
Yeah.
And we also have some Verstappen drama that we probably need to unpack as well.
I do a side quest as well at the minute.
Which are things that we can talk about, but we don't want to keep you guys. So, what?
Forget the Mercedes wing.
And the Mercedes wing. So there's lots of topical things that we're going to cover in the month. So please, like subscribe, get the alerts on.
And if you could share it, like for the maybe 12, 15, 20 who are listening, it takes you 30 seconds, hit the share button and just say something nice and share it with your people. It really helps us massively. Please.
Anywho, we're going to let you get on with your day. Thanks for listening. And we hope that you enjoy Suzuka this weekend.
Suzuka! Bye!
Bye!